What's good, YouTube, and welcome to the house. I had an absolute blast at the Fort Worth YCS, and I went from 5.2 to 5.3 for those who are wondering with Stunder. If you've been following the streams, you know kind of what the build looks like. I changed it just a little bit, but that being said, I'm glad to get back to regular content. So we're going to decide in this video what the giveaway for this month is going to be out of 4 items like usual. And this is thanks to you guys using my TCG player link in the description down below when you shop, costing you nothing extra and supporting the channel directly. So the 4 things I have gathered are pretty unique. Again, not all are from OCG land this time, as one comes from Europe, the official game flip coin for Yu-Gi-Oh! I actually really like this side. It's time to duel. So that's the first giveaway item. The second one is actually sealed. All 6 Dupo tokens, well, it's from Japan, so it's a 20th anniversary token pack with the protagonist characters and their cards of art. But I also have for the next item, it's all 6 of these, the 20th anniversary secret rare cards from that same collection. So it is all 6 protagonist cards and 20th anniversary secret rare, a rarity that we don't get if you notice that red lettering along with the prismatic foiling. So all 6 of those are one item as well. But I have a feeling it's going to be between that one and this one, and that is going to be the field centers that recently came out. And they're kind of see-through. They're that color that Konami likes to use along, like, the material. So you can see it's almost like a stained glass decode talker. We have Borreload as well. And it's all of these field centers will go to one person. The Salmon Great one, and yeah, there's a waifu. I have a feeling this is going to be upvoted. Blue Angel. That being said, the comment with the most likes pertaining to one of those items will be decided for the giveaway. It's not going to be given away in this video. So let me know what you guys want to pick to be given away in the future. That being said, let's get into today's market watch, starting with the evil heroes being completely ridiculous on TCG Player. We see Malicious Bane up towards 83, 84, and a Dusted Gold towards 75. A lot of people are asking me my thoughts on this since it's Legendary Duelist, which has held such precedent, and it's also, you know, hero cards. We've got the announcement for more hero support coming up in another Legendary Duelist, but we don't know exactly what it is. So heroes in themselves are starting to bubble up on the market a little bit. But if you look around, you'll find a little bit of cheaper copies. Not very, very insanely cheaper, but you see from the UK with $8 worldwide shipping, $70. A lot cheaper than the 83 being offered over here. And then we see 70 over here for Dusted Gold. That's not the biggest coolant, $5. In my opinion, though, Legendary Duelists are just overhyped duelist packs. That's simply what they are. They are a duelist pack. And despite these short printings, I think over time, we will see these cards slightly fall in value. Now, there's not a ton of them on market because a lot of vendors just stopped opening this and started selling it at a loss. They don't want to chase this down. They want you to be the one to chase it down. So these are still pretty readily available despite the price of these chase cards because everybody knows how freaking hard they are to get. I still think they'll creep down towards that $60 price of a box point, such as you see it happening on eBay slowly, but there's so few copies, and there's going to be people, I need it, oh, new hero support, I need it more. That's going to happen, and I understand that, but I still think over time, when we look at every single side set, we see things fall down. We actually look at one of the competitive cards out of the most expensive Legendary Duelist, and it's only 35 bucks. So, even though it's not short printed, the fact that the value of this box is 4x the current price of these boxes, yet the wanted competitive card is at this price, low quantities, the pricing still goes down. So, I think looking at market trends of the past, of every single side set of things that don't see meta play, these are going to go down as well. But let me know what you think. Do you think it's only up from here? Do you think that it's not going to settle? That maybe some teams with deep pockets are keeping it up here for their own profit? Let me know what you think is happening with these prices, since we do see new copies list themselves to market. And talking about hero hype, you see market price of around 45, unlimited 50. Remember, OTS 9 was shorted. It got replaced by, I believe, OTS 5 with Ghost Ogre whenever it got shorted to other OTSs. So there's not the most Stratoses in the world floating out there, and we see this card starting to get its kind of rounds of buyouts similar to Dark Law. So this is something to pay attention to, something to get sooner than later, using my TCG player link in the description down below. Smile. But seriously, this is something that if you're trying to collect it, get it sooner than later. It's pretty stable. It's not the highest quantity. And if it's the variant you want, go for it, definitely. Black Luster Soldier of Chaos has been hanging around that $65 price point, and I find that very interesting because when I played in the tournament, it did come up. I actually was like, yo, I've got to make this card. This card's very good. And it gets you out of certain situations, and it's one of the best transitional Link 3s, period, along with our Nightmare Boy. But you see here, a brand new listing, and he bothered to sponsor it with best offer. And it even says, it's the Battle Legend Heroes Revenge, new USPS first class. So, like, it's going to have tracking. I think that you're going to get motivated sellers like this here and there. But overall, it's up in price. So be sure to be hunting eBay and TCG Player for your deals. Don't just use my link blindly. Be sure to shop for yourself and look around, because we're seeing a lot today that, you know, there was a 10% bonus box sale last week on TCG Player where people were cashing in, so of course things are a little higher over there. You're gonna see copies popping up cheaper than just TCG Player, so make sure to get the deals for yourself. Looking around, the Dream Mirrors also spiked very recently with a new support announced. The new support does offer, to be fair, a searching card for anything in the archetype, not just like Roto level 4 or any card in the archetype that's a monster. You also have the ability to have an Omni Negate as well as a set rotation. I think that they got a lot of amazing support, but I hope that they continue to give them support because people are looking at this description for another set that says a pirate archetype is coming. So I hope that we still get slots for the Dream Mirrors within the coming sets after we get this next wave of support. So do keep that in mind. A lot of people are speculating that, hey, we might not get any more. I sure hope that we do. I feel like 12 cards is not enough for an archetype, looking around at most decks. Now, if all 12 were busted, sure, but they're not. They definitely aren't. So looking around, it's just the Ultras rising. I would still get your Super sooner than later if you're interested, and wait for these Ultras to fall out. I don't think the real demand is there. Of course, people want anything, any kind of value out of Rising Rampage that exists, period. But I think it's all hype right now, and it's more of a casual deck that might get the ability to top regionals, not YCS's with what it's got going for it yet. See, Archiver is actually up in price, weird enough. There's one seller here very low before we see that it is very, very quickly towards that $2+ mark with those shipping prices not being flexible. I think that I've put this on Market Watch before. It's a super rare from a starter deck. It was bound to go up as a good generic card. And actually, I was surprised to see Nadir Farfa using it within his BA deck, but it makes perfect sense. Link 3 spam. Why wouldn't you? So I think that it's a pretty interesting point that this card fits in different places. For its ability, it's also a Cyverse for the Cyverse decks. I think that it's a really good card, and still really good at this price point. I wouldn't, not suggest it at $3 and under. But you see, the 4-in-1s are the last ones left on eBay. Only 10 results, period. And it is quickly 3 over here. So if you're sleeping on this card, you're like, make sure you have a copy or two. I don't think most people max out at 3 on this card, but just make sure you have whatever amount of them that you want, and don't get caught without it. Now, I told you there'd be speculation on this Market Watch, I believe. The ban list, the no sooner than, is very, very freaking soon, October 14th, right after good old dude gets into our hands. I think Dual Devastator is an amazing set, but the fact that this is coming so soon, there's a lot of speculation on the market. Now, looking through at Orcus, I actually kind of came to this conclusion. Konami is done selling Orcus. They've already put a second part, to Dingirsu out, even though it's a hollow foil up in OTS pack. Yes, it'll get easier to get reprint at some point, but it's a rank 8 that is semi-generic. They've hollowed out Galatea 2. Almost everything was going reprinting up instead of down, and the rest of it, for the most part, commons. Very, very cheap. So, in my opinion, Konami might start giving real hits to Orcus by looking at the market, because guess what? They're done selling it. The only card left to sell is Dingirsu, and that's one card. So I think Konami could give direct hits to it instead of just Mermaid, but we'll wait and see what they do with that. Also looking at the Gold Sark Megatons, Nibiru's up a notable 50 cents. You know the joke of Market Watch, it goes up a penny, there's a Market Watch. I think this actually is notable for the low quantities of sellers at different prices. 49 different sellers on this card. This is actually pretty insane for a promo. The RNG for this has led to this point, and I'm kind of heckin' concerned. Hey, look, let's sell empty tins. Please buy my empty tins. Don't make me throw them away. Okay, Black Market, calm down. I love you guys out there, but please, who's buying these? Don't, please stop. Wait, do you actually like make money too after the shipping? Because that's a. Oh man, Market Watch cracks me up sometimes. Looking at the regular Megatons, I think we're at bottom out prices. Nobody's really getting too scared on Sky Strikers because, oh no, my $50 Sky Striker deck. It's like pretty budget at this point, and the rest of things are options that will go to other decks. Call by the Grave, about exactly where I called it at. $6 is where I said it would settle, and we're seeing it head towards that price point. And nobody really jumping ship too hard from Thunder either, still towards $5. So it'll take the ban list to really heave up those prices, but I could see Thunder and Sky Striker, now that they're done selling those two, either getting one more list or getting slammed here. We'll just have to wait and see. And then finally, Dual Devastator, I think all the pre-sales are way too high still for the estimated value of each card versus what they're trying to get out of here. I think even though they're alter arts, you'll see Ash Blossom continue to dip down Super Poly, and it's done nothing but dip down even before the release because the competition is of a sealed set product that has a guaranteed amount of cards in it that are all the same. So you're not the only RNG is ironically field centers and stuff, right? Like fun stuff. Shoutouts to the giveaways. I think that you're gonna see, like, look at this. Veiler's not gonna be almost $5, $4, whatever. I don't think you're gonna see Ultra Veiler stick at 4. You'll see it go to 2. Saryuja maybe 3, but I think it's possibly gonna hit on the FNL list. Ghost Ogre at 3 is actually a pretty decent price for its new alter art. So they're just trying to spread out the value, get more than it is worth for selling it like this, and have cards left over. I honestly still think that buying, like, if you don't have a lot of these cards, just get the sealed set, especially for the alter arts. If you do have a lot of the cards, then buy the singles. It's pretty straightforward. Thank you so much for watching today's Market Watch. Let me know what you think of everything going on down below. And let me know what you thought of the Fort Worth coverage. I actually plan to do a video on that too, and I want to see your opinions on how they changed things with it. No stream, by the way. But seriously, what they changed with the regular coverage, I want to hear your thoughts before I go in with mine. Thank you so much, everybody.